Hey guys, Carl here. What we have is a late 80s Odyssey. 5 years ago, I changed it. They were given, I had two of them, they were given to me. And I had the old standard two-stroke 250. But what I did was I dropped in a 340 twin-cylinder Polaris. Actually dropped the exhaust underneath. Fit perfectly. Out it comes. Kaboom. You know what? I just never finished it. I never finished the sucker. Engine. One problem it had was it had to rev up quite a bit because you can see the belts don't match between old Odyssey and a newer snowmobile, relatively speaking. But she ran like a beast. So I installed the old Odyssey tank and the radiator, which I actually never got wired into 12 volts. But you know what? This is the better of the two, and this will probably go back into the other frame I have later, and we'll do something about the belts and fixing all that. But here we go. I am tired of not having fun. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the Polaris 340 out. We are going to replace it with a brand new 670 V-twin Predator. I have opened it up, removed the governor. And that is it. I think it's only run twice. So we're going to take this Predator. I've got the correct belt, same size as the Odyssey. And we're going to drop that in here because I much prefer 4 strokes over 2 strokes anyway. But you tell you something. This thing was torquey as a 340. It would sit here and burn the tires in the garage. What I think is a 670 with a proper belt. I think we're going to have some fun. Plus a 12-volt charging system so we can, you know, move on with lights and electric start and all that. So that's the plan. Stick with me. See what we can do.
announced a 5-year contract with Philadelphia 76ers assistant coach Monty Williams. Williams also is a contender for the open coaching job with the Los Angeles Lakers. And those Lakers are proceeding toward a contract offer that former Cleveland Cavaliers coach Ty Lue in the coming days. His tenure in Cleveland, including 3 trips to the NBA Finals with now Lakers star LeBron James. This is ABC Sports. The Carolina Hurricanes go for a 4-day sweep in their second-round playoff series. Second horse has been scratched from the race. I call the 3-1 shot will miss the first race for the crowd through a convention this foot. I call it 34. He will not need surgery, but a timetable for his return is unclear.
Nice, we cut those later. There we go. If you guys don't have one of these, they're $100, man. Eat your heart out. Recip saw.
Kudos as well go to this year's participants in the scholarship program: Carmen Lucatero, Zoe McManus, Alina Rafalowski, Elsie Swiderski, Elizabeth Court, and Brooke Whittington. Distinguished women participants take time out of their schedules and participate in learning fitness activities and interviewing skills. Each girl is required to have at least a 3.0. Distinguished women participants come from all walks of life.
Yeah, I'll get a better idea. What we gotta do.
Congratulations to the distinguished young woman of Delaware County of 2020, Elsie Switters.
Hey, y'all, it's Thomas Ridge.
Thank you.
97.9 G5 Country.
I have to lose the ignition system. That might actually be next. It's just going to be right in the way. Alright, we gotta do that. So here's what's next. Not too worried about that yet. It's all spacing and motor plate and all that kind of stuff. So you got a little bit of glue here. This engine is ungoverned. I cracked her the first day I got her and ripped that governor out, so I don't have any RPM issues. So our new thing is the muffler sits like this Now I can either J-tube the exhaust or do like Cars and Cameras did, block this off and drill a whole bunch of holes in the back. But I'm more inclined just turn the damn thing over. But then I'm into the pulley. So if I cut it here on the 45, give or take, right there on the 45, and hi Carmen. Anyway, if I cut it right there on the 45 on both sides, they look straight enough. And I'll bet you if I cut those on that 45, we can just turn this sucker over. Or turn these over so they're actually angled up a little bit. Right about right in here. And we just turn them over, they'll be angled up. And then the muffler's going to be up here. Nice and up out of the way. What do you guys think of that? I don't feel like I've got much to lose. If anything, we'll make headers or something else. So, you know what? We're gonna go for it. Maybe the Sawzall would be better this time. We'll give her a shot. Alright, this one looks like the second one. My first one. Oh, dropped the other little freaky. Where's the key? Let's see. Uh-oh, dropped the part. Where'd it go? Alright, so I got them cut off. Remember, this one is actually shorter than this one, so you got to make sure to get them back in the right order. But so what we did, flip the exhaust to the back, and I gotta say, we were pretty darn close with those cuts. So now we'll just clean it up a little bit with the grinder. We'll tack it and make this a high mount exhaust and give it plenty of room for the belt. and she'll be shooting out the back. Wish there was an option for another way to point the exhaust. Hi, Carmen. And we'll clean these up and tack them and see what happens. It's gonna work. Alright guys, fired up the old Harbor Freight 220 there, and for what we're doing, that is going to be good enough. So we cut them off, flipped it over, now we have a rear facing exhaust with enough space to get in and play with the belt, and I like that a lot better. That way it's not in my shoulder, I'm not J-tubing, I'm not drilling the muffler out and all that kind of stuff. So there we go. That's a flipped muffler for a 670. We'll get some paint on there before we go, of course, and I guess we'll move on to the next thing. Much better. Keep her tight.